Hari Om. Tat Sat. Oh, it's so cool to be here with all of you. This is going to be a next level satsang because the Sangha is here in person. Yeah. Okay. Let's sing together. Sing loudly. Sing like no one else is here. Okay. Start with the opening shlokas. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply. Okay, we chose the most complicated chant first. Just joking, it's not too much. But let's go over it. Brahma Guru.
Brahma Guru.
Jaya Brahma Guru.
Jaya Brahma Guru.
Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru.
Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru.
Beautiful. Yeah, so we're starting with the chant to the Guru. Here we are, we find ourselves in this beautiful lineage, in this beautiful ashram, and because of these beings, we have each other. So again, it's better if we all sing, okay? Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru.
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru,
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru,
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai,
Jai Guru Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai,
Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai,
Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai,
Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai,
Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya
Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai,
Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Jaya
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru,
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru,
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru, Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru,
Brahma Guru Jaya Brahma Guru Shivaya Namaha Brahma Guru
Again together.
Brahma Guru Jaya
Swami Shokananda's our MC, so I have to play his favorite kirtan. So it's Radhe Govinda. Okay? Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe. Please chant.
Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe
Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe Jaya Sachidananda Ji Maharaj Ki. Jaya Jaya Swami Shivananda Ji Maharaj Ki. Jaya Jaya Sangha Maharaj Maharin Ki.
Jai.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Wow. Thank you, Kirtanis, for that great way to start our evening. Starting from the back, we have our 14-year-old Vani. She'll be making her way to the front. Stick around long enough, you'll see her leading the Kirtan. Her wonderful mom, Santoshi, preparing to become an Indigoga minister. Lila Shakti Mai. Kali. And thank you, Narada, for playing my favorite guitar. Welcome, everyone, to our Saturday evening satsang. Am I heard okay? Okay. Okay, good. So satsang, sat, the truth or the reality, sangha, the people who are gathered here to move in that direction. There's the everyday reality, and then there's the supreme reality. We're here for that. Support each other to recognize that there's something that may not be obvious to us right now, but it will be clear as day at one point. Okay. So I also want to thank Satchidananda Ashram for hosting our global reunion. It's not, I know from my years living here, it's not that easy to pull off an event like this. I don't see them sweating at all. It seems like they're all in gear to make this happen. So I'm grateful for the ashram for pulling this off. And also, is there a group, Dani Wasam group here? Raise your hand if you're here. Okay, thank you for joining us. Who's Danny? Okay, thank you. Did you know you were coming at a time when we're having this reunion, or it just happened to be that way? Okay, it's great to have you here. Okay. I just want to say something before we move into the program. I was inspired last night by Swami Kriyananda's talk, and she had said that she felt a little uneasy about speaking in front of the group, such an esteemed group of practitioners, and such a seasoned speaker like that to admit that. So in my 13 years living here, I don't remember ever being an MC. It's not my thing so much. I watched someone like Swami Priyananda do it, and I thought, wow, I wish I could do that. And then even this last few days, just watching Sister Vani, so calm and ego-free, hosting our events. Is Vani here? Okay. So I would ask you to do something for me, because I'm also a little nervous. If you could just raise your hands like this and say, Repeat after me. Swami Ashokananda is a wonderful MC.
Ashokananda is a wonderful MC.
He's calm and nonchalant.
He's calm and nonchalant.
He's learned from the best, Swami Priyananda and Sister Vani.
He's learned from the best. Sister
And
Vani.
Vani. He's going to be fine.
He's gonna be fine.
Thank you. I needed that. So now we're going to light the lights on the altar. So it's our own inner light. It's always there, but the lighting of it reminds us of that. And it also reminds us, these beings are not just in pictures. They're there. But if we light the light, it helps us to remember, oh yeah, that's not just a picture. And all these saints around us are not just pictures. So you can stand. And you have the yellow sheets, we'll say the invocation. Auspiciousness be unto all. Perfect peace be unto all. Fullness be unto all. Prosperity be unto all. Happiness be unto all. Perfect health be unto all. May all see good in everyone. May all be free from suffering. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Please be seated. We have two wonderful speakers tonight. Well, three, of course. Sri Gurudev will have a video of Sri Gurudev. Michael Lerner. I had the pleasure of getting to know him a bit. He took, I don't know, Michael, if you remember, what was it, ITT with me, I think, in the 80s probably. He's the co-founder of Commonweal in Bolinas, California. That's his main work, working with the Cancer Help Program, Healing Circles, Beyond Conventional Cancer Therapies, the Collaborative on Health and the Environment, and the New School at Commonweal. I don't know if that's the new school that's in New York. Is it associated with that same school? It's right near us, like across the street from us in Greenwich Village. It's not the same? No, okay. Michael's the recipient of the MacArthur Prize Fellowship. That's a very big award for his contributions to public health. He received that in 1983. What's that, 42 years ago. He's the author of Choices in Healing, Integrating the Best of Conventional and Complementary Therapies, printed by MIT Press. He's a longtime student of Swami Satchidananda, Sri Gurudev. And Mike is going to share his wisdom tonight with us, and also on Vimeo streaming. Let's welcome Michael.
Thank you, Swamiji. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very well. Is my voice coming through?
Yes.
Very well, Michael. We hear you really well.
Okay, wonderful. Swamiji, thank you for that kind introduction. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person. And also, I'm a little under the weather this afternoon with a cough and a bit of a cold or something, so please forgive me if I break up from time to time to sneeze or blow my nose. But it's not inappropriate to be a little under the weather because my topic is healing and integral yoga. So I get to actually practice this, and I actually told Chandra and the tech team that I might not be able to do it, but I really wanted to be with you, and so here I am. So I have 30 minutes with you. It started at 5:20 my time, and I'll be very precise about that. I really feel that integral yoga saved my life. My friend and colleague, Dean Ornish, who has done Nobel Prize worthy work on reversing coronary artery disease and also working with prostate cancer and aging with a integral yoga framework, also believes that integral yoga saved his life. And I'm sure that that is not uncommon, that there are many of us who found at whatever point we discovered integral yoga that it has life-saving capacities. I'm going to say just a little bit about defining healing, which will be very rudimentary for some of you, but not everybody has really thought about healing. So basic definition of healing, as I use the word, is that healing is different from curing, that a cure is when a medical treatment takes away a disease and it never comes back. Healing is a movement toward wholeness. It can happen physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It can take place at any point during the life cycle or the disease cycle. We can heal as we lose ground physically. We can absolutely heal in the dying process. So it's a movement toward wholeness. And one other core thing about it is that while the great paths to healing are well known, so for example, the way Ornish describes it is diet, exercise, deep relaxation, and finding love and support. There are other ways to break it up, but the point is that there are these core broad practices, but usually the most powerful healing takes place in what William Blake called unique particulars. He said, if you would help another person, you must do so in unique particulars. And that is certainly my experience in the Cancer Help Program. The Cancer Help Program is in large part based on integral yoga. We've done 225 week-long retreats over the past 40 years. I've been with almost all of them, except a few that I missed with health issues. But usually the work that people come to do is not about the cancer itself. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it is about some core struggle in their lives that is innately and immensely painful to them and that they don't see a way out of. And therefore, the effort to simply listen to them and to see if we can help them find the answer within themselves that wants to emerge, that's the core work. And trusting, this is part of our methodology and our Healing Circles global work, which came out of the Cancer Health Program. Trusting that we do have the wisdom within us to find what we are seeking. What Swamiji called the guru in you. And so that's a really critical point, because I'm always deeply tempted to advise people. It's a temptation that hasn't gone away over time. But Jerry Jampolsky, who was the founder of the Centers for Attitudinal Healing, who was very near us in Tiburon, and he came to see me in his early 90s after we'd worked in parallel for 40 years. And I said to him, Jerry, you know, we've both been doing this work for 40 years. I can't help, I know I should just listen, but I can't help wanting to advise people. How do you do it? And here this distinguished older man listened thoughtfully. He was almost blind. And then he said to me, Michael, how could I possibly know what is best for another human being? Michael, how could I possibly know what is best for another human being? So there's a profound wisdom in that. So it's not just the great paths of hatha yoga, pranayama, chanting, you know, meditation, all the rest. It is allowing a person to be heard and to address the unique particulars of their struggle at that moment in time. Another way to approach that for people is to ask them a critical question, which is, what matters now? What matters now in your life? And that often helps people get toward those critical questions. So I want to, excuse me, I want to go directly to my favorite sutra of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which I think is the first sutra in the second book, and I won't try to butcher the Hindu, but my adaptation of Swamiji's translation of it, which I love, it's the sutra about tapas, is, I think the translation he gives is the acceptance, and I'm working from memory, the acceptance of our suffering as an aid to purification, the study of great wisdom teachings, and complete surrender to the divine force within us. These three things are yoga in practice. Now notice he doesn't say hatha, pranayama, meditation, chanting. He says the acceptance of our suffering as an aid, I would say, to our personal evolution or spiritual growth. The study of great wisdom teachings, and I would say wherever we find them, and complete surrender to that divine force which is in each of us, no matter how deeply buried. Those three things are yoga in practice. So I regard that sutra as essentially fundamental in my life for the last 44 years. I just find that, in a kind of a way people put it frequently is they call it an AFGO, which is another freaking growth opportunity or another freaking opportunity for growth, AFOG. I use AFOG. But life presents us, unless we are deeply enlightened, or at least enlightened beyond my pay grade, because I'm a radically imperfect human being, so I don't pretend to any enlightenment whatsoever. But my experience is that far from having obtained the peace that Swamiji talks about when he talks about a life of dedication as the path to inner peace, maybe so. And I certainly find peace when I'm working. That is very true, that when I'm working, and I'm working most of the time, I do find peace. But when I'm not working, and when I'm confronting just the emotional, mental, and spiritual dimensions of being a radically imperfect human being, which is what I describe myself as, I'm dealing with all the pain and suffering of attachments. And obviously, attachments are most often to the people we love and the struggles we go through with the people we love. So, so I just find that sutra, to accept, to embrace our suffering, and to know that if we do embrace it, it actually authentically works to move us forward. And then to rely on great wisdom wherever we find it. And finally, to trust that we do have that divine spark within each of us. Those three things are yoga and practice. So I mentioned we've done the Cancer Help Program for 40 years this year, over 225 week-long retreats. And, they completely transform people. We only take 8 people at a time. And virtually every single retreat, almost everybody leaves having had a profound experience. Now, whether that profound experience lasts or whether it's passing, when you go on a yoga retreat, you can leave with a great feeling of peace and transformation, and then a week or 2 weeks or a month later, you're back in, whatever reality you were in with before, or maybe you've made a little progress, but I think most of us know that experience. So it's the same in the Cancer Help Program. But there are many people, and here's the point, there are many people who actually do transform, and the reason is the deep trauma of a cancer diagnosis and cancer treatment. And one of the realities, and here I'm going to refer you, those of you who like to think, and not everybody likes to think, that's not a critique, but the mental path, the Jnana Yoga path, is not the path for everybody. There is a student of consciousness named Jeffrey J. Kripal, Kripal, who's a professor of religious studies and philosophy at Rice University. I'm doing 14 recorded 90-minute conversations with him on his 13 books. He is, in my mind, the true successor of William James, the greatest American philosopher, psychologist of the 19th century, in that he has taken very seriously the presumption of yoga and Patanjali that there really is another world, that there is a world beyond the physical world, that the materialist world, which is all conventional science accepts as true, that there really is, Kripal speaks of the human being as two, not one, but two. And the old traditions taught that. Not all of them, but most of them taught that we are two, not one. And so I refer you to his work because I was looking back over the siddhis, Siddhis, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Kripal believes that most of those siddhis are actually true. You know, let's start with the most obvious one, the survival of the soul in death. To me, that one is very clearly true, at least for some people. There's a professor retiring now near you at the University of Virginia, Jim B. Tucker, who took over the work of Ian Stevenson. And they did this extraordinary piece of work on children who remember past lives. And they have a database with over 3,000 of these kids with this completely impeccable methodology where most of these kids are in Asia, where they believe in reincarnation. They find a kid who talks about a past life. He usually starts talking about it at 3 or so and stops talking about it at 7 or 10 because the present life begins to crowd it out. But he remembers vividly a past life. And he talks about it. Well, sometimes the parents go looking for the previous life parents, and sometimes they find them. So in those cases, Stevenson and Tucker sent out teams to interview the two. And anybody who reads that set of books, I believe that without a doubt, it demonstrates that whether you call it reincarnation or they more carefully simply say children who remember past lives, it's real. It's real. So if that's real, what about all the other psi phenomena, PSI phenomena? What about what are called anomalous phenomena? What about intuition? What about telepathy? What about clairvoyance? What about clairaudience? What about remote viewing? What about the power of prayer? You know, these things are real, but they operate according to different rules. And so Kripal's description of them in his 13 books is extraordinarily nuanced. He doesn't in any way give up in the materialist description of the world. What he embraces is what's broadly called panpsychism, which is the belief that consciousness is ubiquitous in the universe as opposed to being simply an excrudescence of the evolution of the material human brain, which is what, you know, the scientists believe now, that all the rest of it is just hooey. But it's not so. And so the thing about panpsychism is that there are some variants, like the Neoplatonic ones, which privilege consciousness and say the material world is a vibrational step down from consciousness. And there are others, the one he likes is called dual aspect monism, in which he suggests that the material world and the consciousness world arrive from a single substrate. But we were neurologically designed for survival, not to see reality. And therefore, we separate them. And we only come into an understanding and vision of them when either we're subjected to great trauma, or we practice extremely deep meditation, or sometimes with psychedelics. And some people are born with or acquire through other means access to these other intelligences and states. So I simply mention Kripal. You won't find that he's any kind of carbon copy of integral yoga. But if you hold your integral yoga deeply, which I do, you shouldn't be disturbed by his fairly negative view of religions. While for my part, I like to see the exoteric version of religion as the shell and the esoteric inner mystical vision as the true light. And I believe they tend to be, as Swamiji said, many paths to a core truth. So I've got about 13 minutes left with you, and I think what I'll go to here is to say, it's not only integral yoga. I mean, truth is one, paths are many, but there are many other ways of doing it. Tai Chi, Qigong. I think what tend to do it, get us to this inner experience, is the embodied psychospiritual methods, which require gifted leadership, gifted staff, a belief on the part of the participants that the method will help them, and good design. I think those are the 4 criteria for good retreat work in a psychophysiological discipline. Now, I'll just move briefly, and again, this is very familiar to most of you, but I'll say it, that the Gita and the Yoga Sutras, both of which Swamiji translated, are very clear about what the great yogas are. The Gita, obviously, Bhakti, Jnana, and Karma Yoga. Bhakti being the yoga of the heart, which is the yoga of love, but I prefer to say with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the yoga of kindness. He said, kindness is my religion, no need for fancy theories. My heart and my mind are my temples. My friend Christina Baldwin says, kindness is love with its work boots on. And Cornel West says, justice is what love looks like in the public sphere. Justice is what love looks like in the public sphere. So whether you call it kindness, whether you call it love, love has much ambiguity to it. But kindness, we all know what kindness is. And so kindness is love with its work boots on. So the bhakti approach is of love expressed wisely as kindness. Then there's karma yoga, which is the yoga of the hands, the dedication of service. That's a large part of my own yoga. I'm not as good at bhakti yoga as I am a karma yogi. And my third yoga, the third yoga of the Gita, is the yoga of wisdom. And that yoga, the Gita warns us, is the most complicated, and it's the easiest to get lost in. But for my sins, that is the one that that has drawn me most powerfully. I am a student of consciousness. I am a student of wisdom. I believe that we cannot arrive at any final understanding of either one, but we can continue to explore them. And I do believe that we are right on the cusp. And the Wikipedia entry on panpsychism says this. Panpsychism got wiped out by the introduction of materialism in the 20th century. But up through the 19th century, panpsychism was the default view of thoughtful people all over the world, not everywhere, but it was the default view. And it was up through William James and Leibniz and Huxley and Alfred North Whitehead. And, it was the default view that, consciousness was ubiquitous. Whether you took a Neoplatonic view that it was primary, or a dual aspect monism view, or some other view that it was ubiquitous but not primary, it was clear. And then it got wiped out by this fully materialist thing. And the power of panpsychism is that it doesn't, while the materialists deny the panpsychic, the panpsychics don't deny the material. Kripal says either way works. You can understand the world either way or both ways, but culturally it will flip from time to time. And if you read the Wikipedia entry on panpsychism, you'll see that in this period of time, panpsychism is experiencing a resurgence in contemplative practice, in neurology, in psychedelics, absolutely, because it suddenly becomes available to millions of people who never had that experience before. Whatever we think of psychedelics, I don't use them myself. But the point is, it's become a new portal to experiences of the panpsychic. So, and then the Yoga Sutras, aside from my favorite sutras, the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga, and especially looking at the cities. I mean, I was used to look at the cities and say, well, that's very nice. It must be some intrapsychic event that they experience, but it isn't real in the world. But according to Kripal, it's real. There's a Yale professor who wrote a book about Mother Teresa and a friar named Joseph, who both used to fly in the presence of many, many people. His name is Eire, E-I-R-E. The book is called They Flew. So Kripal's point is that at different times in different cultures, different things are actually possible. And it depends on the time and the culture as to what expresses. And so that we don't know what that psychic force is and that is expressing itself in different cultures, in different ways, in the experience of different people. But it feels very real. And the reason I'm devoting my 81st and 82nd years to a series of 14 conversations with Jeffrey Kripal is I think this is the most important thing that's happening. So in that context, I regard integral yoga as a very well-designed, very safe, very grounded set of practices that come out of one of the oldest human religious traditions that is deeply grounded in a panpsychic view of the world. And I'll take, 4 sayings from, 3 from Swamiji and 1 from Buddhism. Swamiji's view that truth is one, paths are many. Well, I love to look at the world that way. I think it's a powerful way. It is a non-dual teaching. There are dual teachings. And there are also teachings. William James, for example, said, I cannot know if it is the one or the many. So I prefer to see it non-dually. But one of the important things about great truths is that the opposite of one great truth is usually not a lie or a fiction. It's another great truth. So the view, the non-dual view and the dual view are examples of 2 great truths that are held in tension. The second is the teacher as signpost. I really love that teaching because it really says you meet somebody, or perhaps in the course of your life, you meet a number of people and they show you the way, but they can't do the work. You have to do the work. And so you have to find some form of inner guidance. And the only inner guidance is some form of inner teacher or inner teachers, plural. So for me, Swamiji has remained an utterly central teacher for over 40 years. I just feel his presence all the time. He is available to me all the time. And I'm sure that's true for many of you. This is not, nor is it just people, and think of all the people who have Christ in their heart, or Buddha in their heart or Krishna in their heart. It's a common thing to carry a great teacher and a great teaching in your heart. So for me, Swamiji has stayed in my heart. He's very close to me. And so I find him, even as I confront the immense complexities of the cosmos. You know, J.B.S. Haldane, the great evolutionary biologist, has a great line where he says, the universe is not only queerer than we think, it's queerer than we can think, right? And so I believe that. I believe that the universe, the cosmos, is queerer than we can think. But following Kripal, I believe that consciousness is the new sacred. And I believe that the study of consciousness is resurging with the study of panpsychism. So 3 more minutes with you. And I think the last point I'll make is the one about a life of dedication is the path to inner peace. And I'll just quote my friend and colleague, Rachel Naomi Remen, who some of you know. She has a lovely line where she says, perhaps the purpose of life is to grow in wisdom and learn to love better. Perhaps the purpose of life is to grow in wisdom and learn to love better. I love that because it has 4 key elements. The first is perhaps. You know, you may not think life has a purpose. If you don't think life has a purpose, the whole thing is null and void. If you do think life has a purpose, perhaps it is to grow in wisdom and learn to love better. So I will leave you with that thought and with the question for you. You know, we live in such a profoundly transformative period of time. We live in the age of the global polycrisis, which I also study in depth. The world is changing with immense rapidity. Our country is changing. It is very easy to get caught up in fear and just a sense of hopelessness and despair. It's not productive. It's not the right way to go. You know, the Gita says that when darkness prevails, I take a body and walk among you again. When darkness prevails, I take a body and walk among you again. I believe that to be true. And I believe that we in integral yoga are elements of that body that is walking among us again. So if we can simply hold fast to whatever it is that we have found in integral yoga, whatever has stayed with us over the course of many years in integral yoga, or if we're new, whatever we have discovered freshly, if we stay with that, perhaps we can be part of that body of the Gita that finds a body when darkness prevails and walks among us again. I'm 1 minute short of my time, and I'll stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Michael, especially since you weren't feeling well. To something in you said, no, let me go through with this. You were meant to share this with us. Let me settle down. I really feel that the work you're doing with Kripal is that resurgence you're talking about, where consciousness is primary. You're a key person in that movement.
I'm sorry, Swamiji, but if you're speaking to me, I can't hear you. The sound is funky from back here. Otherwise, tell me when I should sign off so that you can continue.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
All right. Take care. I'm so glad to be with you.
So he thanked me for my introduction. Did he hear it? Or I'm not sure he heard anything I said. Such a person, so authentic, coming from his heart like that. An intellectual, but such a big heart. So next we'll have a huge heart. Sri Swami Satyananda is going to speak to us for 13 minutes. I like how we kept track of the minutes. 13 minutes on Raja Yoga. This is a talk from July 25th, 1996. They need to power down the projector and then try to start it up again. So maybe Heike, Amma, do you want to go next? Okay, let me. So you guys have a few, have like a half hour. Well, let's switch things around. Okay. Okay. So I'm happy to introduce my dear friend and a dear friend of many of us, Heike, Amma, Farkas, am I pronouncing it right? Okay, Farkas. She was certified to teach integral yoga in 1993. She became a trainer in 2002. She's the one who really brought integral yoga to Germany, and she heads up a beautiful center. I was there recently in Augsburg near Munich. I hope everyone gets to see that center at some point. It's a new building, right? It's a newer center, right? The last few years. So Amma's been teaching children and adults with great joy and enthusiasm. I can vouch for that. She has a background as a school teacher, a certified massage therapist, a naturopath, and all these things have really influenced her teaching of yoga. Her real strength and inspiration is rooted in her deep devotion to Swami Satyananda, who she had met, it says here, miraculously met in 1990 in Alaska, of all places. And that transformed her life, and Gurudev gave her a new way of looking at herself, high key. She's high key, a high key. Yeah. And her statement, I guess, is like your credo. The way that she bases her life is, yoga is the biggest gift in my life and my first marriage. I don't know if Roland knows that you were married before, but that's your first marriage was yoga. Okay, so let's welcome Heike, who's going to give a talk on freedom through awareness.
Well, my heart is still beating because of that wonderful talk. I've never met Michael Lerner, but he touched me deeply. And I also had a smile on my face because there are a few parallels you will hear from me as well. So a heartfelt welcome to all of you and all of those who are watching Vimeo, and to my beautiful, dedicated German Sangha. Jai, ihr Lieben. Yeah, and also first I would like to thank you for allowing me to share with you my understanding of freedom through awareness here at one of the most precious places I know. To me, Yogaville is a sacred ground. And you are probably the kind of crowd who does not even need an explanation for my chosen topic. Freedom has been always very precious to me. And my belief is that it's almost a necessity in order to be able to grow into our individual potential, to discover, and I mean literally discover, the beauty and abundant versatility within ourselves and life in general. The more we are caught in boundaries and imprints of our family, culture, generation, as well as in lacking awareness of them, the less we can expand into our limitless possibilities of individual growth and liberation. Freedom is something we all long for. Everybody wants to be liberated. And yet, we bind ourselves, knowingly or unknowingly, to so many limitations. And for you to figure out your own status quo of your personal freedom, I would like to encourage you to go through a little self-inquiry with the questions I have put together. So if you would like to join, I invite you to close your eyes. Make sure you sit comfortably, raising yourself up into your full physical height, and relax into that posture. Go within and listen to your own heart. And to connect with our heart more consciously, I would like to share this little prayer I learned from Mukunda Styles with you. Please take your hands in a prayer position, and if the words resonate in you, you can repeat them with me. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Namaste. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Namaste. Then place the hands comfortably back into your lap or on your thighs and listen to your honest answers. How free do you feel on a scale between 1 and 5, meaning the highest feeling of liberation? 5 meaning the highest feeling. First question. When things don't go your way, do you interpret it as a punishment or a loving invitation to grow? Second question. How much do you rely on the approval of others? How free do you feel to be your authentic self? Can you share your weaknesses without shame? Last question. Are your decisions fear-based or love-based? I could go on with a never-ending list of questions, but whenever you're ready, I would like to ask you to please open your eyes again. So no matter where you ended up on your scale here and now, the basic question is, how free are we from fear, expectations, attachments, aversions, blame, and shame? As I was young, freedom meant simply that I can do what I want to do, without restrictions from any authority, like parents, teachers, culture, guidelines, rules and regulations, laws, and so on. But since I'm walking the spiritual path, I know that real freedom is so much more than that. Freedom has so many facets, but a basic distinction I think we can all agree on is an external freedom and an internal freedom. To have internal freedom means no matter what comes or goes, we feel content. No matter what others think of us or how they treat us, criticize or judge us, we maintain our balanced state of peace, which is our birthright, Sri Gurudev said. Let's reflect on the questions a little more detailed. When things don't go your way, do you interpret it as a punishment or a loving invitation to grow? Do you look at life as a serious business or a divine play? Neither attachment nor aversion should throw us off. I always distinguish between the cosmic plan and my personal plan. Or, as Sri Swami Satchidananda phrased it, God is giving you everything you need, but not everything you want. God knows us better than we know ourselves. And the cosmic love wants us to grow into our full potential of resilience and finally into liberation. By the way, did you know that resilience is a term of the construction field and means or determines the pliability and the adaptability of material? Well, nothing in life remains as it is. Sometimes too bad, and at other times, thank God. Life means constant change, so don't rely on external conditions or circumstances. No evolution without change. Have you ever read evolution backwards? The last 4 letters come out to love. The question is, how do we deal with changes? Are we complaining and blaming? Or do we take action to get out of an undesirable, unhealthy environment and emotional condition? I once asked adolescents, do you believe that there's such thing as perfect parents? Do you believe that there's such a thing as perfect children? No. That's right, I said. But the good news is your parents are the perfect parents for you, and you are the perfect children for your parents. This is what you both signed up for in this lifetime. I am convinced that we chose and agree the body, the family, place, culture, era, religion we are born in before we reincarnated. So no more comparison with more fortunate fellow beings, no getting lost in self-pity, seeking for ways out rather than questioning why this is happening to us. A dear friend of mine, Sabrina, reversed this question, why me, into why not me, as she was diagnosed with breast cancer. When destiny shatters us, I like to compare it with a volcano eruption. It breaks us open to give us access to deeper realms of consciousness, where the hidden secrets are found and the laws of life are being revealed to us. At the same time, our comfort zone expands. Our hearts open up wide and our minds conquer a new depth of wisdom. Another metaphor I like to use for painful transformational phases is the cocoon. A condition where we are helplessly imprisoned in this tight space, can't move, can't take action to get out. It's dark. And we are caught in there, alone. All we can do is surrender until our wings are fully developed. If someone would cut the cocoon open, we would be free, but our wings wouldn't be fit to fly. Pain is our best teacher. Every advanced soul told us that. Pain is tapasya, a purifier. The crystal gets polished. After all, we should always remember a quote of Stephen Levine: resistance is hell, acceptance is heaven. Or Gurudev always said, heaven or hell, it's all in your mind. The sooner we accept, the easier we return to the flow of life, which allows us to take the next step towards spiritual awakening. Every experience, every encounter, every conflict, every challenge is an invitation to mature, to grow more into our potential, unlimited resources, strength, and inner power. Next question. How much do you rely on approval of others? The reverse question would be, how much power do you still give away by allowing others to push your buttons? How high is your need for attention, acknowledgement, praise, acceptance from others? The more insecure we are, the more we depend on the approval of others. I learned that the only thing that really matters is that I am clear about every action, my intention, and my motivation behind them. I have to be sure about what I am, who I am, what I'm doing, and why. My own clarity is all I need today. Of course, it's nice to receive compliments for our accomplishments and efforts, but we should not expect or depend on them. And when we receive them, we should accept them gracefully, joyfully, and offer them right away with gratitude to the source of all there is. Knowing what's on our mind and in our hearts is what matters. Know thyself and you'll be free. Question number 3. How free do you feel to be your authentic self? A wonderful quote I received a long time ago in one of the ashram's newsletters was, "Be yourself. Everything else is already taken." We all represent such a colorful diversity of uniqueness. And we should not hide behind a wall of concern not to fit or not have the right to take our space. We are more or less caught in inhibitions because we fear that we risk our reputation or make a fool of ourselves. When we dare to be spontaneous, open and free. Concerning authenticity, I also think of the importance of allowing ourselves to feel and express our own needs freely, and not just be caught up in fulfilling other people's expectations, like our parents, partners, children, friends, colleagues, neighbors, teachers, or even fellow yogis. Here are a few sub-questions. Do you have the courage to speak your truth even if it might bring you a disadvantage? Are you religiously obedient, or do you trust in your own inner guidance and wisdom? Are you willing and able to deal with the consequences of your authenticity? My guidelines and recommendation is what the scriptures say. As long as our behavior doesn't hurt anybody and serves at least one, including ourselves, we are performing a perfect action. Or my own strategy is, I listen to my inner voice, I follow my heart, and I serve creation. Question number 4. Can you share your weaknesses without shame? I believe shame is one of the most depleting and self-humiliating emotions. Shame arises when we have the feeling of not meeting one's required values, norms, demands. And so is a risk to be losing the sense of belonging. Our individual self is a spicy mixture of strengths and weaknesses. Our individual self will never be perfect in this world of duality, but our essence is whole. And you know, health in German means Heilung, or healing is Heilung. And Heil means whole. This is exactly what Michael Lehrer said. To get healthy is one thing, but to become whole is a different thing. We should all play our given roles to the best of our capability. And we also have to accept that we cannot always play the good role, the nice and pleasant ones. Sometimes we have to be the bad guy or the bad girl. And our seeming mistakes could very well be an important stepping stone for somebody else's liberation. This is how we are all learning gifts for each other. And remember, all roles of the cosmic play have to be casted so the play can be performed. Important is our awareness and willingness to reflect so we learn from our own mistakes, as well as having the willingness to apologize for what we have done or missed doing. None of us is faultless, yet we are all complete in our essence. The question is, what do we rather identify with? The limited individual self or the everlasting higher self? The last and probably most essential and meaningful question: are your decisions fear-based or love-based? As long as we allow our fear to come into our way, we will fail to experience freedom. And Gurudev always said, fear and faith don't go together. We all know that saying, end quote. Especially for the young people. Dare to dream and take your dream serious. There are notions of our soul, of what we are capable of achieving. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney's quote, one of my favorites. Don't allow anybody to bury your dreams. Go for them. Love to me is the opposite of fear. There's a book title I really like, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Love is the only answer to all questions. Love is the highest power of the universe. And where does love begin? Charity begins at home, Gurudev said. So learn to love yourself. Free yourself from the illusion that anybody or anything can make you happy. Everything you expect from others, you have to learn to give to yourself. Be your own best friend, not your worst enemy. Love and respect towards yourself is the beginning of everything else. A healthy self-care is an essential aspect of it. Don't entangle yourself in obsessive busyness. Take healthy breaks for personal reset. The world will not stop turning without you. And remember, you don't have to neither get sick nor die in order to get a rest. Self-love is making us strong and steady within ourselves. Self-love is the stira, the stability of our own heart and mind. Sukha, the easefulness, will then be the natural result of it. There is no easefulness without stability. Stability is the precondition for easefulness. Then we are the most useful instruments in the hands of God. Again, something Gurudev taught us. The motivation of our action is then clean, clear, and selfless. The qualities we need to not create any more new karma. Only the deeds which are done without expectations do not create any more karma. That's the way out, the only way out. So how can we gain more freedom through awareness? My experience is through mindfulness, applied throughout the day. Be mindful about what you send out, what you take in. Be aware of your emotional condition and shifts. Be merciless truthful to yourself. I repeat this. Merciless truthful to yourself. And get down to the roots of your imbalance. Take a total self-responsibility. Love yourself with everything you are. Encounter yourself with compassion and loving kindness, no matter what. As I had a very difficult time, my brother said something really beautiful. He called me by my nickname, which is only known by my family, Schnucka. And he said, why don't you just be nice to yourself? You wouldn't treat anybody like that. Take care of your own happiness. Never put it in the hands of another person. Establish an unshakable faith in the divine plan. And be patient with yourself. Last but not least, I would like to share a few helpful practices out of my own toolbox. And the first one is therapeutic writing. What you do is you take enough pages, paper, scraping paper or whatever, and a soft pen you can write really well with. You set the alarm on 18 minutes. You start writing. You don't think, you just write about the problem, or you can write down, why am I angry, or why do I feel this way? And then you write. You don't intellectually write down. You don't have to finish a sentence. You can scream out loud anything and everything. We have a saying in German, paper is patient. And what you never would say to anybody else, you can put on that paper. You're totally allowed to do that. After 18 minutes, when the alarm goes off, you set down the pen, lay down the pen, you take the paper, you tear it up, you either burn it or put it in the bin, preferably outside your house, and you go through your day, and the next morning you do the same thing. And you will know when this process is resolved. The longest I have written was 10 days. And I never thought of this problem again. It was no problem anymore. It was resolved. Another aspect is our affirmations. This is before I knew about mantra. I worked a lot with affirmations. As a matter of fact, at my first visit, I just see Surya. I discovered in his library the book by Louise Hay, How to Heal Your Life, and she was a master of affirmations. And one of my first affirmations I put together for myself was, I'm always perfectly guided and protected in every aspect of my life. And it really feels like it has manifested 40 years later. Another one I just recently put together for somebody else, I'm making peace with everything there is and trust that all is happening for my highest good. Remember that. I'm making peace with everything there is. And as soon as you feel like you're judging, you're nagging on somebody, you're dissatisfied, I'm making peace with everything. Yeah. Or a wonderful phrase is, I put for myself together because I had the tendency, I still do, but a little less now, to be very judgmental. I put a tag on everything and everybody. And finally I said, okay, I am, you are, we are, it is. Then we are in neutrality. I have the freedom to be me. You have the freedom to be you or yourself. And we are a big diversity and colorful bunch of people, and that's wonderful. And we are learning gifts for each other, and it is. So moving from judgment into neutrality is a great way to do that. And Gurudev said, purity, neutrality is purity. My timing, I'm almost finished. Dare to dream, I did that already, okay. To wrap it up, another little guideline, return to yourself, return to the moment, and return into the energy of love. You know, when you are tangled up in a conflict, you are the most important person in your life because nobody is with you 24 hours a day. So return to yourself. All it matters is you, your feelings, your emotions, your reactions, and so forth. And only in the moment. The past is history, the future is mystery. All you got is the here and now. The better you take care of the now, the better is your life. And return to the energy of love. And to wrap it up, let's remind ourselves that we are all more or less traumatized beings in the need of healing. It helps us not to take things so personal, and at the same time, we can transform resentment and judgment into compassion. When we all take care of our own healing, we are all healed. And a little wordplay, when you are freed from all external desires, you can ever rest in freedom. And no matter what you do or you don't do, as long as the sum total is peace and joy, you have done everything right. On the plane, I wrote, this is the last thing I would have. Is that okay? On the plane, an inner voice dictated something really beautiful to me. The world I'm dreaming of. I'm dreaming of a world where we meet each other on eye level, in total authenticity of our individual, colorful diversity. Fearless of competition, believing in the power of synergy to raise the awareness in this world. I am dreaming of a world without blame and shame, but the knowing of our divinity, fed by the purest source of life, which is always perfectly guiding and protecting us in every aspect of our lives, so we can awaken in our true nature. I am dreaming of a world where we naturally radiate our inner light, overwhelmed with our unconditional love, maintaining our birthright peace, and enjoying everything we are doing. I am dreaming of a world where we are free from man-made doctrines and restrictions, while we are all living in total self-responsibility under the divine law of cause and effect, applying ethical principles with a natural obligation to all beings, and thriving towards the realm of awakening into liberation. I'm dreaming of a world where our dreams are acknowledged as our soul's dawning of what we are really capable of, where mutual encouragement is applied and supporting each other is a basic attitude. When you share these dreams with me, join me in the caravan of liberation. Hold up the flag of unshakable faith in the eternal wisdom, universal love, and the power of joined forces. So we transform this dream into a new reality. Thank you, and Jai to all of you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Amma, for those well thought out questions and how much you put into giving us responses to those questions. We're going to conclude the program now. I have a few announcements, and then we'll do the Arati. They said it could be ready, but it's not. So please add 2 announcements. Level 1 with Chandra at 7:10 Sundays moved from VVA to Shivananda Hall, I guess here. This room, yeah. So if you're taking the level 1 class tomorrow, it'll be in here at 7:10. Next Saturday, that's August 30th, at 7 a.m. in the morning, there'll be a celebration for the Lotus Renewal. There'll be a homa and a fire ceremony offered by Sri Swami Madhachalan. And I guess the evening before, Saturday evening satsang, will be Bharatanatyam dancing and a message from Sri Swami Madhachalan. And then on, I see, that's next Saturday is the homa. And then the next day, the Sunday the 31st, will be an interfaith service at the Lotus Temple to celebrate the 39th anniversary at 10 a.m. And at 7:30 that night, there'll be a program here with a Kirtan, cello music, a building of the Lotus Temple video, and much more. We hope you can join us. So now we'll have the Arati. Arati is an offering of the light. You'll see the person doing the Arati is waving a small light, and the big light represents the true higher self. And you on the back of the yellow sheet, you have the Jyoti chant. Jyoti, Jyoti, Jyoti Swayam, Jyoti, Jyoti, Jyoti Param, Jyoti, Jyoti, Jyoti Arul, Jyoti, Jyoti, Jyoti Shivam, Vama Jyoti, Soma Jyoti, Vana Jyoti, Yana Jyoti, Mahajyoti, Yoga Jyoti, Vata Jyoti, Nara Jyoti, Hema Jyoti, Vyoma Jyoti, Heru Jyoti, Viru Jyoti, Eka Jyoti, Eka Jyoti, Eka Jyoti, Jyoti E. Light, O light of self-effulgence, light, O light of absoluteness, light, O light of gracefulness, light, O light of auspiciousness, light of Shiva, light of moon, light divine, light of wisdom, light of heaven, light of yoga, light of wind, light of sound, lighty light, light of water, rising light, vital light, the only light, give us light, O light of light. Let's see the closing chants here. Let's do some closing chants. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, Mrityormamritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from unreal to real. Lead us from darkness to the light. Lead us from the fear of death to knowledge of immortality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all the darkness. Victory to that light. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all. I guess since we're having the Hatha class here tomorrow, we could move the chairs to the back. And don't forget to take your prasad on the way out. I asked Suguranandaji, so what if people wanted two? She said, no, they only get one. So